I'm so excited to be here. This is my second Dane County area Tea Party organization in 2 days, and so I am delighted and honored to be in the basement of the Esquire Club on this auspicious occasion. So thank you very much for having me. And I also, I have to give you a compliment because this is the first Tea Party organization that I have ever spoken for that prays before the beginning of the meeting. So God bless you guys for doing that and put Jesus first, because if we don't stay Christ-centered, then who are we to say we should lead? And so thank you guys for doing that. I think you guys deserve to give yourselves a round of applause. Well, it's no secret anymore. I am Rebecca Kleefisch, and I want to be your lieutenant governor. I'm running because I can't afford to watch bad Madison politicians systematically take my little girls' futures away from them. And you guys have an eagle's eye view of what they do in the Capitol. And it's scary stuff right now. As a Tea Partier, I believe that we need a government that is more accountable, that is smaller, and we need a restoration of our personal rights and liberties, because those are the principles on which our country was founded, and those are the principles that we need to respect. As far as the office of Lieutenant Governor, you guys are far better versed in what the Lieutenant Governor does and does not do than a lot of folks who are throughout the state of Wisconsin. And so I thank you so much for being informed, because a lot of people don't know that the job of the Lieutenant Governor is constitutionally undefined. What that means is you serve at the pleasure of the governor. You're on his cabinet, and that's pretty much it, unless that governor trusts you to execute your vision for the job. I am very blessed to have that trust. I think our governor is our CEO, and our lieutenant governor needs to be our VP of marketing, because now more than any other time in our state's history, we have a desperate and immediate need to bring jobs here. We just heard that the jobless rate in the state of Wisconsin is about 7.7%. We all know that that is a number that is vastly underestimated, because we all know that there are so many people who have dropped out of the jobs race because they're frustrated. And sometimes there are people who think unemployment is a better option for them. And then there are so many people who are underemployed. I have a guy, his name's Greg, and he's a Jefferson County supervisor. And I used to use him as an example in my speech of brain drain. You guys have all heard of that phenomenon, where the young, bright graduates of Wisconsin colleges and universities move out of our state because that's where all the jobs are. And Greg was a perfect example of that, because Greg desperately wanted a job, but then he was elected Jefferson County supervisor. He was so excited, and so he decided, okay, well, I'm going to be content doing a job search here in Wisconsin because I would like to stay, but I'm going to live with my folks in the meantime. And all of his friends from Marquette University moved out of the state of Wisconsin. Left Greg, the only one in that ring of friends who was still here. He himself was a victim of brain drain. His friends were gone. His associates, the people that he hung out with in college, got this degree. And Greg told me the other day, Becky, you can't use me anymore in your speech. No more about this brain drain thing. I have found myself a job here in Wisconsin. I said, Greg, that's wonderful. What are you doing? He said, I'm working at a Subway. Aww. That's honorable work. But Greg Torres, with his degree from Marquette University, is underemployed. Wisconsin needs to stop this horrible trend. We need to find jobs for our folks. And the way to do that is to recruit job creators who are looking to expand and who would potentially make a huge capital investment in the great state of Wisconsin. We also need to retain the jobs that we already have here. The way to do that is, first, flip our legislature. We need to change our Senate first and foremost. It looks tremendous for us to do that. We only need 2 seats right now, and lobbyists are already putting the Jim Sullivan seat in Leah Vukmir's column, and Eddie Thompson, regardless of what you guys think of him, is a vote for us, and he is going to take that Kathleen Vineout seat. That's the 2 seats that we need. We could take up to 5 in the Senate, and I am tremendously excited about that, because once we flip our legislature and once we elect a new Republican governor, we are actually going to be able to start to repeal some of the horrible taxes and regulatory measures shoved down our throats by the Doyle administration over the last 8 years. And I don't know about you guys, but I say amen to that.
Amen.
I'll tell you what. Once we have an even playing field, once we have repealed a lot of the things that are crippling our business economy in this state, I'm going to have a really great product to sell as our VP of marketing, because Wisconsin has tremendous advantages in order to offer to companies that are looking to make that capital investment. We have water. Atlanta is going to run out of water in 10 years. We have 15,000 inland lakes. We have 2 Great Lakes and the greatest river in this country. We have a great infrastructure, especially once we have a Republican governor who's going to stop raiding the transportation fund, right?
Yep.
After that, we have health care. Regardless of what you feel about the healthcare industry right now, we are consistently rated among the top 10 in quality healthcare in the United States of America. And you guys, we have great quality of life in the state of Wisconsin. Quality of life that brings tourists here not just in the summertime, but also to enjoy our winter sports. We have a good education system in the state of Wisconsin comparatively. That is something else that we can offer to these job creators. And also, when you think about it, we have a really great power grid. Our power grid is stable as long as our leadership is stable, and we are planning down the road. Our energy experts have plans in place. And so I have great things about the state of Wisconsin that I will be able to sell once we are on that level playing field. But I am so glad that you guys are activists and that you are here tonight, because we truly need to flip our legislature in order to make this happen. Because in order for us to level the playing field, in order for us to even dream of competing with our Midwestern neighbor of Iowa, that is a right-to-work state and no income tax state, we need to make sure that we reduce the tax and regulatory burdens on our businesses. But in addition to that, in addition to the everyday role that I will play as Lieutenant Governor, because to be quite frank with you, I think we're done with the days of Lieutenant Governor being a paid First Lady where you pick a pet cause and then you travel the state and you cut ribbons and you make nice speeches and you read books and that type of thing. I think it's time for our Lieutenant Governor to work tremendously hard. I admire Republican Lieutenant Governor Margaret Farrow. She worked tremendously hard when she held that office, but it was largely because she took a lot of work from her state Senate office and transferred it to the Lieutenant Governor's office. And so we need a Lieutenant Governor who has a focus, like a laser beam, and mine is going to be on jobs. After I hold this job, guys, I don't imagine we will look at this position as anything other than a VP of Marketing, a CMO for the state of Wisconsin, because I don't imagine there is ever going to be a time when we say, all right, folks, we're good, enough jobs. We're done recruiting, let's turn off the spigot. That won't happen. We will always want Wisconsin to grow. We will always want Wisconsin on the forefront of the global economy. And so that's what we need to do. But in addition to being a fiscal conservative and someone with a true vision and a defined vision for this job, I'm also a social conservative. You probably guessed that by the Jesus reference in the beginning. I think that my husband and I, the one on the back of the Packers schedule that I just gave you, should be the ones teaching those cute little girls on the back about the birds and the bees, and not guys like Jim Doyle and Mark Pocan. I am 100% pro-life, and I know there are some candidates out there today who are not. In addition, I believe our founding fathers meant it when they wrote the Second Amendment. And I know you guys back there understand what I'm talking about, because I think they would be outraged to see how much government is controlling our lives today. Government making decisions for us like what additives we put in our gasoline, what additives we take out of our dishwasher detergent. I think the private sector, the free market, can pretty much come up with solutions on its own very well. I don't think the government needs to butt in all the time. Government has its place, but we the people have our place. And so you guys, I would sincerely appreciate your vote. I need your help. September 14th. This primary is going to be about the direction in which we take our party. Are we going to take our party down a more moderate path, the direction of progressivism that has so frustrated so many of us over the last couple of years? Or are we going to turn right? Are we going to turn toward the more conservative values that our country was founded on? I think it's time for a right, and so I would appreciate your help. And thank you so much for having me, and if you guys have any questions, I would be delighted to take them.